Imagine traveling across the world to visit historic castles surrounded by vibrant green rolling hills along a rigid coastline. A place where cliffs are so high that the raging waters below only seem to be splashing against its landscape. Many of you might think that this is something out of a movie, but in actuality, it's a place called Ireland. From its history and traditions to its culture and land, I will dive into the richness of the Irish culture and why Ireland is a place worth visiting someday. As someone who would love to travel there, I have spent my time researching its history and found its culture to be quite fascinating. From the Celts to Vikings, these specific time periods in history has shaped the country's culture and identity to what it is today. Briefly explained in an article on localhistories.org, the Celts arrived around 500 BC and were a warlike people who built stone forts across Ireland. In this time period was known as the Golden Age because Christian ideology was spread throughout the country through St. Patrick's teachings. That is until the Vikings arrived. Invading Ireland in 795 BC, the Vikings settled down and founded and named the first towns we know today, as well as giving the country's official name, Ireland. This is just a brief explanation of Ireland's fascinating history, but let's move forward to some traditions that we celebrate today. Despite being a country across the other side of the world, Ireland's traditions have influenced the United States as well. One example of this is the celebration of St. Patrick's Day. According to an article on Britannica.com, St. Patrick was born in Roman Britain in the late 4th century and was kidnapped to be taken in as a slave to Ireland. He would later return after escaping to convert the Irish to Christianity. Although many legends surrounded St. Patrick, he was most known for using a shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity. By the time of his death, he had established a multitude of monasteries, churches, and schools. From then on, Ireland came to celebrate his day with religious service and feasts that would eventually also be celebrated in America. Another tradition by the Irish culture that is also being celebrated in America today is Halloween. In an article on CIEE.org, Halloween is a tradition rooted in an ancient Celtic festival called Samhain. This festival was used to mark the end of a harvest season and the beginning of winter. It was believed that during Samhain, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, allowing spirits to roam the earth. The Irish have a multitude of traditions to celebrate, but let's discuss its modern culture. Having a deep connection to their past history and mythologies, the Irish culture has a strong sense of community and a love for connecting with one another through conversation. They are a celebratory kind of people with strong family bonds and hold their names very proudly. They are known to be very hospitable and are renowned for their Irish whiskey and Guinness stout beer. If that isn't a reason enough for you to visit Ireland, then let's get into its landscapes. A very popular place to visit in Ireland would be the Cliffs of Moher. These cliffs are specifically intriguing as they are 700 feet above the Atlantic Ocean. They provide spectacular views and are a popular spot to visit if you like things like hiking. Another very popular spot would be Giant's Causeway. It's famous for its interlocking basalt columns formed by ancient volcanic activity. It is also steeped in mythology about the giant Finn McCool. Now, if you are looking for a place to visit that has a unique, diverse history, traditions, culture, and land, then Ireland might be the next place on your list. I feel that as an American, we should learn from cultures like the Irish. We should be proud of who we are and where we come from. Just as they do, we need to connect with one another through the celebration of life's simplicities, which is good food, good drinks, good music, and good company.